The office of the mayor certainly needs to be involved in attracting business into our areas. I think the city of Chubbuck, Pocatello, and Bannock County have showed that when we cooperatively work together, wonderful things can be achieved. I'm grateful for the relationship that Chubbuck and Pocatello and the county of Bannock have one with another. And I think we could even bring into that the state and the way the state supplies some things that we need to encourage businesses to come to our area. The mayor certainly in and of himself can't do a lot. But again, I think this is a place where he can help have a vision for what can happen and then make sure that the positive nature of the things that are happening in our community are published so that those who are looking to relocate understand that. I think part of that is emphasizing those who are here now, taking care of the businesses we have and making sure that as business looks to come here, they recognize that Chubbuck is a place, Chubbuck Pocatello is a place that when you come, you won't just be dropped, but we'll be looking out for you well into the future, and we can have partnerships with these individuals. I think part of that is what a mayor can do, is show how those partnerships are working so that as businesses do look at our area and see the attractiveness, that's one of the things they see that would draw them here.
Well, city government needs to be involved because we have a comprehensive plan. We need to make sure that when we go out and get industry that we bring it in and it's compatible with our environment. When I was living in Idaho Falls, I went and I was civically minded there on one of their alliance programs that we would go out and find businesses. You need to evaluate those businesses that you want to bring in. So I think government needs to be a integral part of that so that things run according to the way that the citizens of Chubbuck want them to be.
The capital funding priorities of the city of Chubbuck haven't changed a lot over the years. The main one remains with our fire department. We also need to include in that our police and the things that need to take place there. The fire department's the big one in that there does need to be some expansion. We need to have more. We need to have another building, maybe two. We need to maybe relocate the one that we have because of traffic issues, because of where it's located right now. Those kinds of things are major capital investments. And obviously the community needs to be involved there. This isn't something that a small group of leaders should make a decision on and pass so that we're saddled with what it would take to pay those kinds of capital investments back. We're going to need to get with the city, have many meetings and talk about these things and make sure that as these needs become very evident that the community is behind that, so that obviously bonds will need to be passed so that those kinds of things can be achieved. The capital funds that we have at the city level to take care of the everyday expenses that come, I think we're doing a really good job in the city of Chubbuck of making sure that we have capital funds so that when we need to replace equipment, when we need to replace vehicles, we have those funds to do that. That's something that truly has been on our radar map for quite a long time, and we've instructed those who are in place to budget for those things to make sure that we are looking towards capital funds. And so I think those things are in a good place. But again, there are certainly places that we are going to have need in the near future. The community will need to get involved, be willing to pass bonds to be able to take care of these major events.
Well, one of my capital funding projects that I've thought about, especially with the new Knutson Boulevard, where the auditorium district wants to go in, I think that will be something that will draw people, it will draw industry, and as that builds up, we'll have a bigger tax base. We will be able to build Chubbuck the way that we want it to be.
I'm excited about the decision to place this event center in Chubbuck, and I believe that it'll be a blessing to, again, both communities. This new Knutson Boulevard is going to provide some real opportunities for growth for the community. And bringing an event center there, I think, will bring the opportunity to attract many other venues that we would like to build around that kind of a venue. Also, the fact of the matter is, once we get this interstate entrance taken care of, the availability of leaving that event center once it's functioning and getting traffic dispersed and to the places they need to be. As near as I can see, the furthest hotels that you would stay in if you came to the Pocatello-Chubbuck area for an event will only be within 10 minutes of that event. And what a great blessing that'll be. I'm excited about that, and I'm supportive of the effort.
It's a good decision. That's a very prime piece of property, and that's only one thing that will go in there. But with talking with the citizens of Chubbuck, I found that most of them would entertain that. Most of them think that it will be a sports type event, auditorium, and that's good. That brings a lot of people in. But I think what we need to do, whatever entity goes in there, any kind of maybe major anchor store that would go in there also, that we need to develop that to the point of a place that people want to go, that we would make it into nice walkways, small specialty shops, restaurants, nice hotels. So it would be a place that people would come and have a place that, well, like when my son was in swimming lessons, and swim teams, they'd go competitively to different cities. A lot of them you would go and watch him swim for 5 minutes, and then I'd have 2 hours before that would happen again, and I had no place to go. I think this needs to be a destination point that we build the things around there that people will have things to do all times of the day.
First of all, let me state unequivocally that I don't believe that anybody should be discriminated against. I don't believe that people should treat others differently just because of who they are. A couple of things as I had the opportunity to watch the city of Pocatello pass their ordinance, a couple of things that came to my mind that would need to be in place. The second part of that question is, do I think that kind of an ordinance is needed in the city of Chubbuck? I had the opportunity a few years ago to be a real estate agent, to have the opportunity to sell some real estate. And during that time, I became very aware that there are some very strong laws in place now against discrimination when it comes to housing particularly. And I believe the same is true when it comes to employment. And so my attitude about putting a special ordinance in place would be, as the mayor of the city of Chubbuck, I would want people to come to me and show that an ordinance has teeth. An ordinance is a law, and that should not be used without necessity. And so my attitude would be, if we are experiencing those kinds of discriminatory actions and there are not laws in place to take care of them, obviously we need to address that. So that's the way I would approach it as mayor, is to have people come to me. We'd address the issues, very specific issues as to things that were happening. And again, if we felt there was a need, then we'd start talking about drafting an ordinance.
I think that ordinance will eventually come to Chubbuck, and a decision will need to be made. Personally, I haven't heard of any discrimination issues. I'm close to that. I have a stepson who is gay, so I've learned the things that he faces in a day-to-day life that he leads. I don't think that anybody should be discriminated against. The other side of it, I also think that the property owners that have put all of their hard-earned money into apartments and and housing and everything, that they also need to be protected. So I think if an ordinance does come to Chubbuck, it will have to be a mutual agreement that all people are not discriminated against and all people are protected with their rights.